Hey everyone, this is Chet at Next Level Media, and I know you're used to hearing me, you know, do promotions and spots and things like that, podcasts. But this morning I want to talk from the heart. So this is going to be unedited. This is going to be just one take. So it may not be correct. You might have a lot of ums and ahs, but this is from the heart. So let's get right into it. So 23 years ago today. It was a regular Tuesday and not much really going on. So I believe a very sunny day, and everybody was just walking around Manhattan. And yeah, this is hard. And I'll get into it why. But anyhow, for me, I remember waking up to the news, and it felt like it was a movie. It didn't seem real. And then I had found out that a plane had made impact into the World Trade Center. So this is interesting, and it comes near and dear to my heart, not just because I had friends and family that were in Manhattan that were put in the harm's way, but I had a very special connection through my grandfather with the World Trade Center. So cut back to the building of the World Trade Center. So from the breaking ground process to the very end, I can proudly say my grandfather, William Henry White, was general foreman of the World Trade Center. His employer and person that he worked for many years, Mr. John Tishman, was the main builder. And then my grandfather came in and he was there from, like I said, breaking ground to the very end. Now, growing up, you go into his office at the house, and he had a lot of things, little knickknacks and things that he had acquired over the years from construction and building in Manhattan, building a lot of things in Manhattan. But there was one thing that always stuck out. When you went into his office, the first thing you would see was a picture of the World Trade Center. And there was many times I would go into his office and he'd be there kind of just doing his thing. And he'd just be looking at that picture with a smile and pride because he knew he was a big part of it. So, cut to, once again, 23 years ago today, uh, World Trade Center is attacked. Plane hits the World Trade Center, and everything changed for a lot of people that day, all over the world, but especially in Manhattan. My aunt worked for CBS News, and of course, when word got out that her father was a part of the original project, they wanted to reach out and talk to him and things like that. Well, he didn't do any interviews. He didn't talk about it. I just remember him sitting in a recliner and watching the TV very quietly. And I said to him, I said, "Hey, Pop, what's going on?" Nothing. All I remember is after the plane hit the first tower, is I looked at my grandfather and I said, "Pop, can this hold? Like, what's gonna happen?" And he didn't say anything. And then finally, I just asked him, I said, "Is this tower gonna go down?" And he just shook his head, yes. And shortly after, as we all know, the first tower went down. So this isn't like a fake emotional um, statement. This is just from the heart because, growing up with my grandparents, uh, I never saw my grandfather get upset. He was a very proud man and very tough, from Brooklyn. And he was in the Navy during World War II. So he was a very hardened man. He didn't feel like crying was acceptable, I guess, in his mind. He was always going to be the hard hitting guy. And he cried that day. And it was something I had never seen before. So for today, I wanted to just tell a quick story, and hopefully some of you listen to it. But for all the families that were impacted by the terrorist attack on the World Trade Center on September 11th, 2001, it was just, I still can't describe it because to me, being from New York, and having a lot of ties in Manhattan, it still seems not to be real. It just was unreal, but it is real. It was real. It's always going to be real. So I will end with this. I hope my little backstory made sense because, like I said, I'm not editing this. This is one take from the heart and just my recollection of the day and my little bit of history tied to the World Trade Center. So, for everyone listening, uh, for anyone you lost, if you were there, we'll never forget. And we'll never forget. It was a day that changed a lot of things in this country, and it just made things different in New York. So, I don't want to go off too long or too much of a rant, but I just wanted to come on the mic today and let everybody know who's affected by the terrorist attack of the World Trade Center. No one will ever be forgotten. We'll always, like I said, I can't say it enough. We're always going to remember. And to those who lost their lives or those who were involved with that situation, if you're listening, it's I don't really know what to say. It was it's just a crazy day. I'm just kind of rambling 'cause I don't know what to say. It was just so much happened. But you all have support. We hope that you all can still move forward, even though you may have had loss or, like I said, been there. But I want to let you know from me, from the heart, once again, those individuals, you and your families that were affected, we will never, ever forget.